You may have to let me in again. Sorry.
No problem. Good evening and welcome to Realty Coffee Talk. My name is Tahir Qureshi. I'm your host tonight. We welcome our certified international property specialist around the globe. I have tonight Paul Daemen, I have Winson Chan, Rajpal, and Maria, and myself. So I thank you very much for joining me from our different location around the world. I want to take this opportunity to ask you, each of you, to introduce yourself. So we're going to go to the same sequence as we did. So Paul, could you please introduce yourself?
I'll unmute. Hi, everybody. My name is Paul Daemen. I'm a real estate licensed agent from the state of Kansas. With my wife here, she's also licensed, and we left in 2000. Well, I've been an agent since 2002, and 5 years ago, around 2015, we took a wrong turn on the yellow brick road and ended up in Nicaragua, where I'm also licensed. My wife is also licensed, and we therefore hold two licenses and are working the Nicaragua market, specifically going after the expat markets from what I call the snowbird markets from Canada, as well as the other cold markets. And basically, that is what we do on a daily basis. Thank you for the invite, Tahir.
So, Maria, introduce yourself, please.
Absolutely. My name is Maria Grulich, and I'm the Global Business Director for Florida Realtors. So I don't sell. I'm not a broker. I'm not a realtor. I'm a connector. I had to pick one word. It's connector. So I connect our Florida members with other markets and with other people, because as you know, real estate is all about building relationships and getting to know people. So what better format than to connect and get to know people? And that's what really real estate is all about. So thank you for having me.
Okay, Winson Chan, please go ahead and introduce yourself.
Hi, I'm Winson Chan. I'm the Vice President of Sales Development for Tridel, one of the largest condominium developer in Canada. I'm also the past president of Real Estate of Canada, which I was fortunate enough to know Tahir. I actually know a couple of individuals here. Maria, as she said, she is a global connector, 100% agree. And I have another connector, is Raj, which is again like a global connector, which we are very fortunate to have this under our network. And although I do sales development, but I don't sell myself. But for the past 25 years, I've worked for Tridel, and technically I'm still a glorified salesperson. And my passion is networking. Through this networking, like we do here, we connected to people around the world across North America, and think that's my passion. And then you always learn, and excited to know about various different markets. So thank you, Tahir, for the opportunity.
You're welcome. Rajpal, please introduce yourself and tell us where you are now, in Dubai or United Arab Emirates.
I don't know where I am these days. I'm totally grounded. I'm not allowed to fly anymore, I guess. I'm forced not to fly almost. So I think I know everybody in this room, in this group pretty much. Maria I've known for years. Winson I've known for years. Paul, we've never met actually, Paul, right? I don't think we have met before. But yes, we definitely are connected on Facebook, and I always get good messages from Paul saying, don't do this, don't do that. So that's a good thing. Paul's always watching me, kind of. So that's a good thing. I love that, actually. Thank you.
To help each other.
Yes, so it's, he keeps me compliant, kind of.
Well, this is very critical, and I know when we get too busy on things, and we sometimes a little bit relaxed. We still careful, but sometimes we need each other shoulder to cry, right?
Well, we are in sales. Our job is to push the edge, and
Yeah.
you go to the maximum edge you can push till you stopped, and that's what sales is about.
So you are in United Arab
No,
Emirates?
I'm in New
New
York,
York. Yeah.
Oh,
New York,
you're
New
in New
Jersey
York.
area.
Yeah,
Yes, I
because
live right
I
around
know
here.
your connection was from there somehow in your profile was showing.
No, 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 no. Never lived there. I've been there, but I've never lived there.
Okay.
I've
All right. So welcome you. You know the power of connectivity is because CIP Certified International Property Specialist is a very prestigious designation.
correct.
The vision is global.
Right.
And I have in the past ignore reach out to professional or refer business to them, lost business because I'm not referring to people. For me, it's very important to personally know someone. If I can hug, I can shake hand, at least I can see and talk with them now with
Yeah.
this Zoom tool.
Well,
So
that's all you can do
important
right
thing,
now.
which we
No
are doing
hugging.
right now. So it's important to know each other personally. It
Mhm.
makes life much easier to do
Oh,
business
absolutely. Agreed.
because when people are buying a $500,000 in Canada, you can't buy much in a $500,000. We're talking about $750 to $1 million kind of average. Our average right now is 885,000 in Toronto and 785,000 in near GTA area because I'm in Mississauga. Our Toronto airport is in Mississauga, but they call Toronto Airport.
Hmm.
So average is almost 800,000. So we're not talking about two, 300, 300,000 there. We're talking about very big amounts. So the important thing, my passion is to learn knowledge, and the Real Estate Institute of Canada, where I'm a fellow and also Winson is a fellow, it created a network opportunity for us. This is where the idea came to me because we have 10, I believe, Vincent, correct me, we have a 10 chapters, correct? 10
Correct.
or 9?
Yes. Yeah, we have 9
Chapters?
chapter across Canada. Yes.
Yeah. And each chapter we meet on AGM and we have activities and we share knowledge and experience. And I have a couple of opportunities to attend AGM, and it was wonderful to learn people who have a skill set, knowledge, years of experience to learn from it. And idea is learning never stop for us because thing changes every time. So now pandemic has totally changed our way of doing business, and we're going to share a few things with you guys. But again, it is bonding with people, creating your network, reaching out those territory areas where you have not done business in the past. So since I became a CIPS, I decided to reach out to everybody, and
Good.
thanks God for last few days. I started with Paul actually, and then we have created a network. So I'm going to give you a little update on what's happening in our market.
Hmm.
In up till March,
Hmm.
from last March to March, year to year, we were 15 point something, 15.8 or 9 going forward before we hit the March 15.
Hmm.
50% sale up from last March 15 and 19 to 20. Then from 15 March to 31st March, it was brought down 5%. So we get 10% above average uh, for the sale. So now I just got the April to 17 April. I'm talking about GTA, Toronto Regional Real Estate Board. And they are saying is that we have a minus 67% sale for 1 April to 17 April. This report is up to 17 April. What compared to 1 to 17 April in 2019, we have gone down. The price only reduced 1.5% so far, only 1.5. And this is because of the lockdown, because we were going in a full swing when in January, February, March, all of a sudden this happened. So I'm going to ask each one of you to give us some point of view that, of course, we adopted new system, new way of showing. We're going to talk about that. So I'm going to start with Paul, because can you share your experience in Nicaragua and what's happening and how you are managing it? That's something that we value to us to learn from you.
I hope you don't mind, Mary, that I'm going to go before you. But so let me give you a quick update about Nicaragua. We had some issues in 2018. I hope you don't hear too many dogs barking in the back. I got 7 Rottweiler Dobermans running around, and it's their feeding time, and they know I'm sitting here ignoring them. So
my poodle is going to join them if they start. So my poodle is definitely going to join. So don't worry about it.
Sounds good. Sounds good. So let me give you some. Nicaragua is one of the largest, if not the largest, I should say, by land mass in Central America. I should say
We have another.
the largest. Okay, we're right above Costa Rica, and we're below Honduras, El Salvador. So just to give you a sense. So Panama,
We're going to welcome Bonnie. Just join us. Hi, Bonnie.
Hi, Bonnie.
Are you? Paul is talking. Then we'll let you introduce yourself after that. Okay.
So our market has had a significant drop, and this started in 2018 because of political unrest. And right now, our market, depending where you go, Managua is different because that's the city, that's the capital. Granada, it's a colonial city. That is where tourism happens. We provide, before the 28 crash, we provided approximately 25% part of the GDP related to our region. Tourism is very important. So is San Juan del Sur, which is, of course, the area where it's the surfing part of the country, the beach country, very well known. And then we have León, which is another cultural place. So on average, I'm going to talk average, we have seen rents drop because what happens? Well, you lose your job. What are you going to do? You're going to try to figure out a way to reduce your financial footprint. So rents have gone down. What happens when rents go down? Value of houses come down because now the owners are saying, okay, I don't have this place to rent. I'm not getting income. I got to dispose of that, or I got to reduce my footprint. I need some money. So they start disposing. When you start disposing, we all know the more people dispose, it starts going down because the demand is really not there. Supply, I mean, you ask me for supply, I can bring you buckets of supply. It is actually the demand, meaning people buying. Okay, so the land has gone down by 10-20%. Prices for houses is between 20 to 50% has gone down. We have seen houses drop from anywhere from let's say one house was sold by our group that was at $2 million, sold for 650. Why was that sold for 650? Somebody needed money. So, if the seller says, I need the money, you got to help him dispose. Construction costs have gone up. So what I'm promoting right now, don't construct, buy a house that fits your needs and change that need to fit your overall dream. Make that your dream home. One thing that I concentrate on is NAR says there are 10,000 people retiring per day. Of that 10,000, there's 1,000 of them leaving the country or want to leave. So that is a niche I'm focused on to get them to come to us.
Okay, wonderful. We're going to ask Maria to please go ahead and speak to us about the same subject.
Sure. Thank you so much. In Florida, one of the key elements is the fact that our realtors are considered essential. And that's very important because then they can continue. We're open for business. And that's what we're telling everyone is Florida's open for business. Our members are working. They could be working from home. Most of them, like I know as staff, I'm working from home, but that means you get the same level of service. You can still do virtual tours. You can still, show houses and sell. So it's very, very important. And as staff, what we're doing is we're there to help them in any way we can to make everything easier, whether it's the tech helpline, the legal hotline. And then one of the key things that we're getting ready to do that I will bring up, and I know some of you on here are aware of, is Florida Realtors Global Business is getting ready to do a virtual trade mission with Canada. And what we're going to do is we're doing trade missions, inbound trade missions, and we've done outbound. And we said, you know what? You can't just stop working. You have to keep building those relationships. And as I said, what we really do is connect. That's what I do. I connect our members. And in real estate, it's all about relationships. So on May 7th from 2 to 3:30, and it's free. We're going to have a WebEx, and we will have members from Florida Realtors. We will have members from TREB. We will have members from CREA. We will have ARIA members, all coming together to connect and talk and continue that conversation, continue building those key important relationships. We'll have the Deputy Mayor of Toronto, Michael Thompson. We'll have the Consul General of Canada. We will have some key players on both sides. We have our superhero president, Barry Grooms, and our CEO, Margie Grant. So all we are wanting to do is continue that conversation. We're going to make it a little fun too. We've asked our members to wear their flamingo attire or something that represents Canada, that great relationship. So we're moving forward. And that's how what we're doing, we're promoting is, you know what, yes, this has happened. It's changed our world. It's changed everyone's world. But if you think about global business, most of global business is done electronically. You're on the phone, you're on the computer, you're sending emails, you're sending little notes. Now we just say, hey, instead of making 2 contacts, you need to make 5 or 6 and pull out those business cards you've had from past expos and meetings and start reaching out. So that's what we're doing. Thank you so much.
Wonderful, Maria. Now, before I ask Winson to speak, because I'm going with the same sequence, how they join it. So Bonnie, could you introduce yourself, about you, your company, area, city name, the state and everything? Short, keep it within a minute and a half, because we're gonna have to give everybody a chance. So we keep it 2 minutes for each one. So we have various topics to talk about. So
Okay.
Bonnie, please.
Okay, I think all of you know me, but I am Bonnie Metviner. I am the Florida State Residential Real Estate Council President this year. Very proud.
Congratulations.
Thank you. And I live in Coral Springs. So I'm a colo banker, and I service anywhere in Broward County and South Palm Beach County. I am a CIPS, I am ABR. I love what I do. And I am late because I just came from a home inspection. I'm so excited.
Wow. Wow.
Good
So
for you.
excited. You know, and even, you know, the inspector came with a mask on, the buyer came with a mask on, and I basically stayed outside most of the time, but it was great. It was just so exciting to have business going on right now. And there are serious buyers out there right now. And so even in the community that I live in, I've noticed that anything that comes on that's priced correctly goes off pretty quickly. So that's pretty amazing for a climate like this.
That's good. Thank you very much for the update. Well, you know, we have in Ontario, we are declared essential services, but business is not as usual. We have our regulator is Real Estate Council of Ontario. They have advised us not to do open houses. I stopped them on March 1st because my son is a doctor and his wife is a doctor. They're in New York.
Yes.
They're serving there. They're supposed to be traveling back to Canada and start living here. But what happened, they said, no, until everything is clear, we're not coming back. We want to help because they've been there for 3 years.
Nice.
So I've been getting advance notice what's going on. So I cut down my open houses on March 1st. And everybody was shocked. So why the hell is this guy doing it? They said, no more showing. We will do the showing, but then we have this issue. As Ontario government issue a declaration for lockdown, then obviously we have to be careful about who we allow to see the property.
Yes.
And I immediately worked with my lawyer and I put together some clauses for coronavirus, not to protect the buyer. Let's say the buyer sign an agreement, purchase a sale. I have to renegotiate with the seller because to put clauses, what will happen if nobody's available to close the deal, whether seller or buyer or a lawyer or a lender or a inspector, we cannot be held liable under this life-threatening situation. So
Right.
I developed 3 clauses for that. And then we now design clauses for buyer broker. If they go and see my listing, they have to sign that to the person buyer himself. It never happened before. Buyer and the buyer broker has to certify nobody is sick, and they will not claim any liability claim against anyone if they allege that there's something they got because of visiting that house.
That's
So
great.
yesterday, my agent told me that, what should I do? There are 2 agents, they don't want to do that. I said, well, I better not do business with them. So we lost 2 potential buyer broker as well. But they should understand that there's complexity involved with it.
Yeah.
Our seller are now doing all the preparation according to Health Canada. We have put down some guidance, and they assign an agreement part of the listing that they will do certain things, because it's becoming a little challenging to get a home inspection now in Canada as compared to what you are seeing there, okay? Because we are in an urban area, and some people have elderly or older family parents in there. So we have to take precautions to make sure whatever is to prevent any spread or any potential symptoms of anything. So we are doing that. So now I'm going to ask Winson Chan, please go ahead and share your thought about what we talked.
So thank you, Tahir. Yes, and I think right now what we needed to focus on is the health and safety, which is very important. But if you look back to this too, I think of this COVID-19, I would actually count my blessing. Imagine how we'd be able to transform from March to here to the type of innovation, the type of cooperation that work around the globe. And even take a look at the Zoom meeting. Like if this COVID-19 happened, say 10, 15 years ago, this type of technology, this type of connection would actually not be possible. And then you see how the industry, not just in Canada, but across the United States, be able to move, not completely, but progressively into this virtual platform. It's pretty amazing. So for myself, I am in charge of the sales operation for one of the largest condo building in Canada. So not only we are not just doing selling, but we're also doing the construction part too. And with the COVID-19, I think the whole system basically challenge us to do better. Like in terms of the essential service, yes, a real estate agent doing the essential service too. Not all the construction site you can continue operation. Ontario government and strict guideline as to the safety precaution of the guideline for the worker to protect themselves to be able to continue the construction. So for that, since we have 85 years of experience and we built 80,000 homes so far, we before the COVID-19, we also improved the safety precaution of the worker. So we were lucky enough to be able to continue to most of our project is still ongoing. Although we are not operating is 100% capacity, but at least we're operating in 70 to 80%. So we still, and I think what we do now collectively is to make sure each and everyone's safe. As a team member included, I now call it our local hero that's continue to work, and partner like yourself and our customers. So we would do. And in terms of the sales operation too, since we were one of the first builder that moved virtual before. So for us, transition into like a virtual selling is not difficult. Just not too long ago, I was at ARIA meeting. We were talking about various leaders sharing the practice, especially for those of us who already practice in global real estate too. Quite honestly, as Maria mentioned too, most of the transaction done virtually anyways too. Yeah. A lot of purchasers have not actually visit your home, your site, your listing. They make the purchasing decision then. All this actually move us ahead into this type of innovation, and yeah. I anticipated it will be more efficient in the future. And sales, yes, what Tahir is saying, it seems scary, the number two, but I think you have to interpret the number differently. The 70% drop is the measurement of the restriction of what we collectively do, not the market. So if you're using the 70%, which unfortunately a lot of media want to focus on that, Toronto real estate stopped 70%. As if you're measuring like a basketball player, it's good as Michael Jordan. You tie his hand and tie his leg and ask him to shoot the basketball and measure the performance. So what result would you get? So I think this is the mindset we as real estate professional really needed to not just become positive, but also interpret the figure correctly to our purchaser and partner. And what we actually need to look into, like the Toronto State Board number, no one reported that, but you should report the number of inventory. Even with this type of downward trend of 70% of activity, the month of inventory still remains 3-4 months. So meaning the market is still quite resilient. And for us personally, last week we did a $2.5 million deal at Royal Bayview, $1.3 million deal at the Well, and even in Etobicoke, we did a $600,000 deal, totally virtual. So I think, as Maria said or Paul said, there's always a buyer, or Bonnie just alluded to it too. There was always buyer. However, what we needed to do, it's like what we do exactly: globally connected, be more vigilant about finding a purchaser.
Yeah, no, this is amazing. And as we know that we are doing our best to educate people. What we are saying is that in the past, in many episodes that we did, that real estate was booming. There was no problem with economy, job, progress, prosperity, economic condition, everything was doing okay. This is the health scare that affected us. So lockdown is not because of economy was going bad. It is because of the health concern, because enemy is in the air. Nobody sees it. We don't know whether we're walking, we're keeping 6 feet distance. Some people are saying when you sneeze, it goes to 24 feet. And it can stay there because weather is not warming up unless in Florida or other areas it's changing, but still it's very chilly right now. They're telling us to leave your shoes outside. You bring your clothes when you go out, get the grocery. And then make sure you take them out and take a shower, change those clothes, wash them, whatever. So we have such a difficult time in order to do this. And some on the other side, some people think this is a hoax and all the other things irrelevant, and it's a lot of challenges that we're hearing and all that stuff. But the idea is, again, like Winson said, we never thought that we will be connected with our CIPS right on the Zoom. This is amazing, isn't it? So we are creative, we're doing new things, we're learning new tools, which will help us to do things faster, in fact. So now I'm going to ask Raj, and I agree with him, the volume, our inventory has dropped 70%. So if there is not a property for sale and the date on the market is reduced from 21 days to 13 days. So that means the moment you list it, within 30 days, that property is gone. That is what is happening. But the volume has gone down, as we mentioned, and there was about 45% property went out of the market immediately. Okay. So I'm going to ask Rajpal to share his point of view. Raj?
So let me give you a little bit about me. I don't do real estate. So
Okay.
I think you probably, I know Maria knows that, Bonnie knows that, Vincent knows that, but you may not. I'm not a realtor. I actually, by profession, I'm in finance. I do mortgages. So I'm one of the very, very unusual CIPS designation holders that is not a realtor. Actually, I think I'm the only one in the United States.
Oh, wow. Well, I am also principal mortgage broker. Just to let you know, I opened my mortgage brokerage about 31st March.
Nice. So having said that, global real estate was by accident that I got into. I was sitting at a basically Staten Island Board of Realtors, where one of my offices is. I belong to that board, and they had a global meeting. They were starting a council, and I went to the meeting. Before I knew, I was on that committee. Before I know, now I've chaired it for a couple of years. So it was just a accident that I started with, and then I got involved with ARIA. Literally at one of those council meetings, ARIA was presenting there, and Maria probably knows her, and Vincent knows her. Kathy Sau, that I'm going back 10 or 15 years now, asked me to join. I joined, and then before I knew, I was New York vice president, president, and now I'm the regional director for them, right currently, which Toronto happens to be my area for ARIA. So I got to stop by and say hello to Vincent. So I'm the regional that basically is responsible for the entire Northeast right now with ARIA. Then somehow I got involved with FIAPSI. I don't know who's not familiar with FIAPSI. I know Maria is, Vincent is a member. Bonnie, are you familiar with FIAPSI?
Yes.
Oh, you are, okay.
I'm not a member yet, but I know
Oh,
about it.
we gotta change that. You got a good council there. Miami does a great job.
I know.
Miami
But
does
I'm
a great,
Broward.
one of the more active councils we have, actually.
Yes.
So now I'm on the executive board of FIAPSI for USA, as well as on their global. I run their finances for the entire globe, actually, for 70 countries. So as I said, my journey started by accident, but I'm so deep engraved into real estate on the global level that an average year, go to about 15 to 20 countries. That is my average. So I cannot tell you how, crazy I'm going sitting in my house, can't even get out of the house. I used to be on a plane every week, almost, at a conference somewhere in the world.
But
So,
you're an icon,
I
Raj.
don't know.
We have to envy you. So I hope I get out more so I can get some break. I know.
The goal is you have to decide what you want to do. I decided one day I'm going to go and see every country that exists in the world. So my next 10-year goal was 150 countries. And I was going very well till Corona came along. Now, the only Corona I can get is the beer.
When I was working for U.S. Department of Defense, State Department, I traveled a lot.
Mhm.
But since I came back to Canada, 30 years ago, and it's been very limited travel. Only thing I go to New York or States because my son was a doctor there, and his wife is doctor, and some other friends, the family members there. So mostly I travel to the United States. I was in Dubai in November to bringing some investment to Canada, and all of a sudden now Corona happened. So we were
Exactly.
doing some big projects. If you guys are looking something in Toronto area, me and Vincent are here. I'm also building some development subdivision coming up very soon with my client, and I happen to be getting my 10-year warranty, so I can give a warranty for the building. So I did the education, and they gave me 50% partnership to build a subdivision, about 40 houses in St. Thomas in Ontario. So as soon as these things get out, we will be selling those. And if you guys have anyone looking to move into,
Nice.
want to invest, we have great opportunity.
So going
And
back to what we were talking about,
sorry?
we all talked about changes that are coming in the way we do business.
Yeah.
And Vincent said that if this happened 15 years ago, we would not have connected to that many people. I'm in an average of 2 to 3 Zoom webinars a day. I was with Maria on 2 webinars yesterday alone. So we're doing all those webinars and connecting people. I am speaking to more people that I've ever spoken to before. I'm drinking with more people that I've ever drunk before. Honestly, I think I'm drinking every evening now because I don't have to worry about driving. So every evening there's a happy hour somewhere along the line. And the good part is we are connected literally. I mean, the evening call that we had with Maria yesterday, we had Belgium on the call. We had multiple countries on the call. So, they are in the morning, somebody's drinking in the morning, somebody's drinking at night.
I'm going to ask you, Paul, what are you doing with all the money? Where are the money bag you're hiding then?
Oh, Maria has got all the money. So we connecting with a lot of people now, which would not have happened in normal circumstances.
Yes.
The key is how are we going to take that opportunity and take it to the next level? And I think that should be one of our goals. And when I started doing these webinars that I started about a month ago, it was a good thing. I want to connect with people. Now it's gone to a stage from 100 to 200 people on the first webinar. I'm crossing 1,500 people on my webinars now across the globe. And that is a huge number, which I did not even imagine. So, you know, those are some things good happening. We are facing the same challenges that everybody else is facing in New York. Appraisals don't want to go into the house. People don't want to let them into the house. So we are doing online appraisals. Most
So
of my
what
transactions are online appraisals now.
Raj, what we're gonna do is now to convert those connections and all
Mhm.
those webinars and activities into tangible benefit
Correct.
to create that, convert them into a sale that give you revenue.
Of course.
Because you can burn yourself with so many seminars and spending too much time, and you have no time to do the sale thing, because that's when they generate money. And if we spend too much time, we won't have this TV because our spouses will give us a trouble, right? So we
Now,
have to make sure that we're making money, right? So
spouse and business don't mix together.
yeah, I know,
Can
but they're
have.
gonna say, "Where is the money? Show me the money." Keep
So there's a
everything
way to
happy.
Tahir, there's a very simple way to handle that. So I teach one of the classes I teach is time management and business development and you know, business planning. And one thing I teach is when I started in the business, when I came into the business, I was nobody. I was new in the country, did not know what I was doing, and within 1 year I was top 1% in New York. Within 2 years, I'm top 1% producers in the United States. I was closing over 1,000 transactions a year in my third year. So when I was doing those numbers, one of the biggest challenges was spouse. When are you coming home? Was a
Yeah,
standard 3 times a day call. So I decided when I did my business plan, I told my wife, I said, listen, if I close 1,000 deals this year, you get a BMW end of the year.
yeah.
That was the last time she asked me when I'm coming home. Her question was, did you do enough to get me a BMW? Not yet. All right, then stay in the office.
Yeah, okay. Okay, Bonnie, you want to share something about yourself now? We talked
Yes,
about the
I'm
subject.
actually originally a New Yorker.
Okay.
So I was born in Queens, New York, and grew up in Long Island. So unlike most of your Floridians, I have a New York state of mind. we're, we're very aggressive people. So I love to network. So what I do is I do a lot of Zoom calls as well. Being the Florida State CRES president, we have a council meeting every Thursday where we do a Zoom call. And we also, we had a bingo yesterday for our state membership. So, and also I've been getting on with the global as well. And next week starts our National Association Realtor meetings. So, and I'm a conference committee member for National Association Realtors. So we've got a lot going on. You're right. The networking is amazing. I probably talked to a lot more people than we normally would have. And you're right about going into homes. A little more careful about the homes that we go into. The home that I just came from was an empty home, a vacant home. So it felt good because you're not worried about anybody there. But look, I'm getting ready to put my home up for sale. And some of the tidbits that you just gave me were a great idea of having a disclaimer that people, buyers and realtors should sign before they enter the home. That's a fabulous tidbit. I love that. That's great.
If you want, I can send you the email that I have.
That'd be
And
fabulous.
if you want to use it, you can convert it in your way, because mine is specific to the Ontario, because I deal in Ontario. And this is one thing, just on the same topic, is that we have jurisdiction issues. Everybody, I'm licensed in Ontario, but as my FRI designation as a fellow Real Estate of Canada, recognized across Canada. So if I go to British Columbia, do they accept my designation and my experience to give me license? Probably they do, but I cannot practice there. So that is why I connect with the FRI in that region to refer the clients to them. And this is the same thing as CPS that we are now doing. So I can connect with people. I invite a lot of people who ask me to show up, but only people who are showing up and talking to me is the one that I'm going to be talking with them if there is a potential for it. So go ahead, Bonnie.
Yeah, so I love real estate. I dove into it in 2004 and I got into leadership right away. So in 2006, I was the chair of the Leadership Academy at my local association. And I became a Florida director in 2006 as well. So it's just been a really interesting track. I have been very busy all along, except for this year, it's kind of slowed down a lot. And I think with this coronavirus, I think things are going to actually start to pick up very shortly because there's no inventory. We have low inventory in my market.
So, Paul, anybody want to share anything? Because we are CIPS, Certified Intellectual Property Specialists. We are leaders. We have a reach of our network across the globe. We can use each other's pool, intellect and the pool of knowledge and experience and share and help each other to serve our clients. So as a leader, what would be your advice to the realtors who have not obtained CIPS or FRI? I'm going to ask Winson to ask that. Why they have not taken designation? What is the power of the designation? We had a very good seminar yesterday because this was a REIC, so I kept it, it's Canada. So Mary, you take the lead. What is the power of the CIPS designation, and why should people consider it for global reach?
Okay, well, I'm a CIPS and I'm not a realtor. I'm not a broker, but here's the importance. The importance is you really need to learn about the customs of a country. You need to learn all of the different intricacies, the rules, so that you can be better equipped to do business with each other. And the more we learn, the more we grow. The other thing that I found so valuable in CIPS is the relationships I discovered and built just by attending the classes, just by meeting other people that were wanting to learn about other cultures, wanting to, get their CIPS. And then after that, once you receive it, the network that we have, this NAR CIPS that we belong to, is a huge network. It's a friendship. Florida Realtors also has, we have the NAR has the hub, Florida Realtors has the voice. We have a CIPS group also. So what I found is it's a great way to help each other, learn from each other. But if you don't have it, now's the time to get it. And that's what I was going to say. If you have friends out there that do not have their CIPS, tell them to go ahead. This is a perfect time to sign up and get your CIPS. The other thing is once you have it, don't stop there, because you cannot learn from just taking a week of classes or connecting with. You have to continue to build and learn and build yourself to learn more about what it's like to do global real estate. This is just like opening a door. And then after that, there's more. So thank you.
Let me tell you, my inspiration was Winson, because when I joined, became FRI, and I saw his name with the CIPS, looking at this, I said, how come he's not putting, he has lots of designation, but he put FRI and CIPS. So I researched that. And I said, my first opportunity I get, I will give myself a birthday gift. And that's what has happened this last March. I did that, but he was the inspirer of that because he carried the CIPS pin. And nobody else in the team that we have had the CIPS. So Paul, I'm going to give you the opportunity to tell us, because you are a very renowned personality and you've been teaching, educating people. Why did you get the CIPS and how CIPS is helping you? Keep it 2 minutes because I have a couple of more questions I have for everybody. So go ahead, Paul.
For me, the reason I took my CIPS, I took it because I was living in Wichita, Kansas at that time. And we had a very vibrant community of Latinos and from other cultures, even though I had a lot of experience in business, having traveled and also a educator at the MBA level at 3 universities, I still took the CIPS. I agree with you, Maria, in relationship to customs, intricacies, etc. I would say I do not go out and tell everybody to take it. I ask everybody, what is your niche? Based on your niche, look at the product that NAR has, because it won't fit for everybody. Let's be honest, CIPS is not for everybody. It's like saying, everybody go take it. Then let's everybody go take the alphabet soup, which I have quite a bit of the alphabet. So I think is look at your market, The determinant will make you differentiate yourself in your niche. For me, for example, there's only 3 people in Nicaragua that has the CIPS. You know, one of them is Michael Cobb. The other one happens to be my beautiful wife, and the last one is me. We are the only 3 in Nicaragua.
Wow.
You're
We are.
unique.
I'm the only one that has the C2EX with my wife in all of Central America, if not all of Latin America. Yes, our office is 100% C2EX. Very difficult to take as an outsider. So I would say, ask the question differently. What do you, what are you doing as an agent, and what do you need to do to differentiate yourself and use your logo of the brand, meaning C2EX, great differentiator, ABR, great differentiator, CIPS, if there's a need, take it. But don't, let's not go out say take it, because then we might depreciate the value of what CIPS is. Let you individually determine. Come to talk to people like Mary, right, Paul, Winson, and yourself, Tahir. Go talk to people like them and ask them to help you determine, is this the right designation? Because I hear too often, I took it and it's not for me. So we need to do our job in making sure that who we help are the ones that we need to be part of the family.
Yeah,
I'm not saying
I 100% agree with you. I always say passion, with passion, you can move mountains.
Yeah.
You must love what you do. And if you love your passion, my passion is real estate and your success is my priority. That's my tagline. Everybody knows that. So we have to ignite the soul inside that talks about real estate or mortgage, whatever profession that you are in. And when you have that passion inside you, and also you're with a sweetheart, you talk about it, what type of life you want to live, what type of future you want to build for your children. And then you set a high goal, not the low goals. You inspire people to go for the best. And when I was, for myself, before I asked Winson, myself is a small company, Brokerage. City Pro Realty is my company. I am competing with multi-billion-dollar corporates, Remax, Royal LePage, other people around the world, Karen William, blah, blah, blah. So what is unique about me? Because I have 6 designation. I'm a FRI, CIPS, SRES, CRES, SRS, and ABR. And I'm working 3 more. When I go out and do a presentation, my presentation is very, very specialized and well presented. I don't take anything for granted. I put together, spend time. So those things, your skill you learn when you acquire a knowledge. And if you have the appetite to grow and have a lifestyle you want to do, and not only for yourself. If you don't need money, I'm involved with the community. Vincent will tell you, give back to the society. And that's a part of things that I'm doing, community services, giving back society. And that is helping people to lift them. Like Paul said, talk to us. That's why we are producing and going online, telling people, talk to us. We help you to excel in your profession. So Vincent, please go ahead and tell us about you are a FRI, you're a fellow, you're a CIPS, and you're a very successful mentor for me as well. Tell us why people get because I know CIPS, if they are in Canada, their focus is FRI. So I want you to say something about FRI and then CIPS.
Sure. Yeah, I think I echo all you just said, and I think this is amazing that we basically learn from each other. The key word basically is all summarized by all you just said already. Relationship, passion, and the commitment. I think this is important. And Paul said one thing. It's why I get so many destinations is the differentiation, which is so true. It's all the destination, all good for you. No, but I think what we really needed to do, as everybody was mentioning too, this will help you differentiate yourself. I love the destination is challenge yourself to be better. That's number one. And with no matter what type of destination you get, you'll be able to connect to different like-minded individuals that will challenge yourself to be better. And the connection, and most importantly, the relationship that you make will be priceless. For Real Estate Institute of Canada, we take the real estate agent to a higher level so that they be able to get like a fellowship of the real estate. We work with university, we work with a lot of organizations to ensure a member who call a self-fellow of Real Estate Institute is really the top tier of the real estate, and not just ethically, but also in terms of relationship and in terms of the networking. Most of the person who actually get a fellow Real Estate Institute a leader in the industry, like all the leader of Toronto Regional Real Estate Board, which Maria know, they also had a lot of our destination. And I've been with the institution for a long time. I think the prize that I get from the connection is friends like here. It's amazing that I get to know Tahir. He is an amazingly humble person. He do a lot of community work. If you would like to talk to the mayor or any official, you just say, oh, Mr. Karachi or Tahir, they will immediately appear to any meeting he invited. So he also inspired me through our friendship, and he's passionate about his destination and his business, and it's do a lot of community work for the better good for the community. For CIPS, it's like Maria is a prime example. It's the global connector, like Raj, the global connector. When I need anything to in Florida, I have a quick number that I can call Maria, will connect with whatever people that I can connect with. Raj, the same thing too. Thank you. At the time when I was in New York, we're working with some JV partner. I call Raj, my CEO want to see this, and this too. Just email, a phone call away, he organized my tour in New York. So that's the power. Like imagine that you have a database, or I shouldn't say a database, a friend that you can call whenever you operate around the world. Now that we have good connection from Paul in Nicaragua and Bonnie in Florida too. So those are amazing. Like you know the person, and very interestingly to your purchaser is important too, because when you connected with the leader in that particular area, you make them feel important. It's not just, okay, any other realtor, okay, go ahead and get this purchaser. You don't even know. You referring the customer, you know that they take a certain training or commitment, and most importantly, like mine with you, that you can serve everybody better. And I think this is, I really treasure the relationship, and every time our meeting, our calls, we learn from each other. And Maria, we should share that very interesting incidents that we get actually double introduced from 2 different organizations. When I was at the Canadian Real Estate Association through ARIA, we double connected with Maria. And I think that this type of relationship and how we actually get things move forward, even in the organized real estate, without the connection and network, it's probably impossible. Last but not least, and I think how we be able to put it to in use, it's to pay attention to the referral. Canadian refer so many business to United States, or I should say, our petitioner from United States and Canada miss billions of referral opportunity. Yeah. What we needed to do is our eyes and ear open. Pay attention to people who just mentioned about Florida. So if they mention about Florida, I may look for an opportunity. Okay, so let's call Bonnie. Any opportunity in New York, finance whatsoever, Raj. Nicaragua, of course, Paul. And of course, I don't practice real estate in Canada, but of course, Tahir is here. And I think that's something that we can pay a lot of attention to, get your friend involved, and I'm sure that we'll be financially rewarded very, very soon.
Absolutely. Excellent. This is what we've been talking about. And I took initiative to connect everybody, and I think Paul has been doing and everything. So I'm going to ask Bonnie, you share. So what we're going to do is after Bonnie and Raj, we're going to go 1 minute, last minute to send a message, a potential buyer and seller, because I believe sharing and working together. So each one of you will give your name, phone number, and email to my audience. I'm at the last edge of my fasting. So in a few minutes, I will be breaking. So my throat is getting dried up a little bit. So just forgive me. I've been without, food and all that with patience. So I'm so far composed. So Bonnie, please go ahead.
Okay, so I obtained my CIPS back in 2006. It was my third designation, GRI, CRS, CIPS. I love some of the comments that were made. Challenge yourself to be better. Vince, that was fabulous because that is what my goal has been my whole life. My dad was a plumber. My grandfather was a plumber. And my life growing up, I always saw how hard they worked. So I always challenged myself to do better. I always reached for the stars because if you reach for the stars, you're going to grab one of them.
Yes.
You know, it's always do better. So when I got my CIPS, I think one of the most exciting parts of getting my CIPS was my first NAR conference that I attended, a global night out. It was so exciting because people came up to me all over the room and they knew me. It was like they were my friends already before I even met them in person. I was so excited. It was like people from Japan, from Brazil, from everywhere. We were already connected before we even met each other. And we are all global. We are all international. My family is from Germany, from Russia, from Czechoslovakia, from Hungary. My family is not from the United States originally, and no one really is. We all migrated here at some time. I have family that lives in Canada. I love the understanding of the multiculturals. It just like Maria said, it's understanding how to deal with all cultures. I've been doing a lot of traveling. I've been going to last year, 2 years ago, I was in Japan. That was very interesting, learning their cultures there. It was very hard to communicate in certain areas. So I used my phone and Googled some words, and then the cab driver Googled the words, and we made it work. You know, I've been doing a lot of cruises. I've been to Spain and Italy and Greece. And one year, I went with my mom on a cruise from Italy to Greece, and I flew to Italy by myself. And it was the first time I ever went out of the country alone. And it was kind of interesting, but exciting because, you know, you learn how to talk to people in different countries and learn their cultures. In America, I'd sit down at a bar and have dinner by myself. In Italy, they don't have that. You sit down at a table and eat by yourself. So every culture does things differently. And getting my CIPS was so rewarding because we have another world here. We have an amazing connection to each other. And I love the connection, the relationships that we build, and the referral resources is just awesome. And thank you so much for putting this together. This was amazing.
Awesome.
I think
Tahir, you need to unmute yourself. Tahir, you're muted. Unmute yourself, please.
Just one. Yeah. So this is our third event, and we're going to do now after this once a week because I have a Realty Coffee Talk show. This same one is broadcast every Thursday, and then we have now I started the Mortgage Coffee Talk on every Wednesday. So I have a second episode. So now I'm going to come back to Raj, and after Raj, maybe we can end with Raj. Raj, you can also share your phone number and information with one brief comment, and then we go back, everyone, to share your contact information, and then I'll give the final message. Go ahead.
So, you know, in short, basically, everybody covered some beautiful points. I think Paul made a perfect point where he said CIPS is not for everybody. And I think almost every designation has to have a niche where this is my niche, this is the direction I want to go in. And if you're not looking to go in that direction, you're wasting, not only wasting money, you're basically you're taking a class of 5 days and then you did not do anything with it. You know, it's like going to a seminar, attended the great seminar, listened to everything, made your notes, and come back and put the notes on a side and don't do anything with them. We're all somehow, you know, responsible for doing those kind of things. And, you know, it's, if you're going to do something, use it. And that's the key to it. I got my designation, and before I knew, I was teaching CIPS. So, you know, but the network, as you know, Bonnie mentioned, is absolutely amazing. That if you're looking to network, if you're looking to build relationships across the globe, CIPS has played a crucial role. I can almost say I land up in any country, people are there to take care of me, take me around. my lunch, breakfast, dinners are all set up like before I even land there. I've
Nice.
gone in almost 15 countries last year, and every country there was almost every night I went out to a dinner with either a CIPS or a FIAPSI member or somebody who said, Raju, here we're going to go out. And in some cases, I even traveled with them in Russia when I was with the FIAPSI World Congress. And Joe Schneider was with me actually, who runs NAR's Global. And I was going to Moscow, and that my friend of mine found out that I'm going to Moscow. He says, you better show up in St. Petersburg. I said, what am I going to do there? She says, no, I'll take care of you. And she took me around St. Petersburg, and then she went to Moscow with me. She says, I'm going to travel with you because you don't speak the language. And that's the kind of relationships that you have the ability to build. And you cannot do that without all these nice things.
Yeah, this is what I say is a power of connectivity, because when you more connect, the more you connect with people, and our designation in CIPS is global. We are a global family of CIPS.
Absolutely.
So we use each other's strength.
Correct.
My father, God bless him, he mentioned that if you want to lift together, you are carrying the weight on everybody's shoulder. But if you pull some of those branches, people away from it, then one or two people will break their back because they can't carry the weight. Because you got to have the all people working together to carry the weight, so they know they're doing a good job. Because CIPS designation or FRI, you are expected, you are a leader, you're expected of the highest professional standard, competent service with integrity, professionalism, and you're trustworthy. So if you are not able to do and travel a distance far, why don't you give opportunity and share with your fellow CIPS or FRI to do the business? I think Winson knows that I'm promoting FRI designation in Canada as a member. And this is where the relationship she mentioned, that's the whole idea. CIPS is my global family. That's my network. I want to use it, and I want to know my friends personally. So we're going to go back to Paul. So you want to say final word? 1 minute each one of you, please.
It was a pleasure. Thank you, Tahir, for putting this together. Just use my name, Google it, you'll find it. It was a pleasure being all with you here. I look at this as an amazing opportunity. It's very deadly, the coronavirus, but I'm not going to let this beat me. I'm going to try to figure out a way to beat it. I'm one that always says, yes, you can. I do not like negative, so I always try to spin it and look for a positive. So let's keep positive. Let's keep looking for opportunities. Let's work together, share our knowledge, and we can all get out of this better, stronger, and we all be richer for the value of relationships and everything. Have a great evening. It was a pleasure connecting with everybody.
Maria?
Thank you so much. This has been amazing. I loved it. And I can be reached at mariag@floridarealtors.org if you want to learn more about our upcoming Canadian trade mission with our Florida realtors like Bonnie. And I know Winson's going to be on there, and Tahir. Let us know, and we're happy to help. So thank you so much.
Thank you. And Winson?
Okay, so thank you, Tahir, for putting this together. Once again, your passion, it's amazing for both organizations. And for me to contact, just, find me in LinkedIn or any social media, you should be able to find me. Thank you.
Bonnie?
Yes, you can get me at bonnie.metviner, my last name, METVINER, at Florida Moves, MOVES.com. That's my company email address. My phone number is 954-234-4659. And this was fabulous. I really, really appreciate this. The connectivity. So far, I haven't met Vince. I think I've met Raj. I look forward to meeting you, Tahir. Paul and I connected. What?
I said, love to. Look forward to it.
Yes, and I connected with Paul a couple of years ago at NAR. We really we talked before, and we met at one of the presentations he was doing. And Maria and I know each other very well, so I look forward to meeting everybody that I haven't met yet.
Wonderful, all of you coming, and I thank all of you joining tonight's The Power of Connectivity. Before we end the program, I pray and wish all our health workers, doctors,
Yes.
police officers, they put in their line to defend and to defeat coronavirus in Canada and United States and Nicaragua. We salute them, we love them, we are there to help. There are lots of families who are suffering lack of income. Please help food banks and in your community area. I do best of my ability because we are community builders as a real estate professional. So we are well connected with our consumer because we are the one who are putting them in a shelter and they enjoy their life together. So this is the best thing that happened to us, is that we are able to contribute and build our community. Being a certified international property specialist and fellow Real Estate of Canada and United States, we're there to help you. If you ever need any help, please contact me. We have a network of CIPS around the globe. Thank you very much. May God bless you. May God bless the United States of America, Nicaragua, and Canada. Thank you.
Have a good night,
Thank
guys.
you. Have a very good
We will
weekend.
connect
everybody.
again very soon.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.